Welcome back on the show. It is time now to welcome in our next guest, and that is going to be Cynthia Adams. She is the head coach of the Olathe West softball team. Hey, coach, appreciate you coming on the show.
Hello, I'm so glad to be here.
All right, so I mean, man, great start to the season. Like, what has impressed you the most? Obviously, the wins are there, but like, what has impressed you the most about just the start of the season for you guys?
Um, what's impressed me the most is how last year we won state, we lost five seniors, and this year we're just picking up where we left off, even with a new group. Our senior class is a little bit smaller, but our freshmen have really stepped in, and our sophomores, our underclassmen have really done a good job of just picking up where we left off and doing a great job. I mean, I'm impressed.
You mentioned those like underclassmen. It's always kind of the unknown, right? I mean, like, hey,
Right.
yeah, they could be good, but let's see what they do in that type of experience. Like, what's that like? Just kind of bringing them along and getting them that experience.
Well, the experience they don't have, it's kind of funny because I feel like our team's always been a pretty solid team, whether we've won state or not, and that culture and that standard is there. So I feel like these underclassmen know how hard they'd have to work to be able to get on this team and make a difference. And I'm pretty honest about what I want or what your role should be. And they worked hard in the off season, these sophomores, and they came back and they're ready to go. And my freshman class came in and they were ready to go. I mean, I feel like it's hard to make a decision for JV varsity because some of these girls are so competitive and they work so hard. But it's a good problem to have. So
Yeah. You mentioned like kind of like sitting and like, do you sit them down and like tell them, okay, this is what I kind of, I don't know, expect from you, but like your role, like, is that something you had before the season or even during the season?
I have it before the season. I tell them what I want them, like even like last year, like at the end of the season, I tell them what I want them to work on, where I see them, where they could be, where they could help us next year, where I mean, nothing's guaranteed, but I just want to give them a good idea of what I want them working on, whether I think they'll be outfield for us. They may not play that in their club ball, but I want them to work on those skills because we may need them there. And then in preseason, when like the week of tryouts, I tell them, this is where I see you and this is what I need you to work on. And sometimes it's hard to have those conversations with the older girls because they're getting they're getting beat out by younger girls, that's probably the hardest thing, is knowing that their role is changing. But it's also good for them because I feel like they have to find a new role, be part of the team somehow. And it makes them work harder. I tell them, like, our theme this year is iron sharpens iron. Like, we have to make each other better. We are a good team, girls are good, but they also have to go on the field and make each other better. I want competition. I don't want one person always having that position, think it's theirs, and they don't try. They're just kind of lazy. I want everybody competing for a spot all the time, but I also want you cheering. You're the biggest cheerleader for your teammate at that spot too. So I think the girls have really embraced that, and they really, I mean, I can't, like I said, I can't complain. They've embraced it. They hold each other accountable. And I'm really proud of the standard that they have and the culture they have. And the senior class has really moved, like really embraced it and passed it down. So it's not coming always from me, it's coming from them, which is huge.
At the time of this recording, I was looking at, your numbers, like you're averaging about 15 runs per game and giving up less than one run per game. So as a head coach, like what pleases you more, like the ability to, put up those type of offensive explosions or, that defense and that pitching?
Both.
Both. Yeah, that's a good answer.
I mean, I wasn't hitting. I feel like hitting. I'm trying to ride that hitting wave because the hitting's always come and go. So you'll always have great times. Yeah, you're hitting awesome, and then there's always going to be when you have the quiet bats. But if we always have our defense and our pitching, we can be in every game. And I just right now it's like if somebody's not hitting, they're doing a real good job about getting their jobs done, putting the ball in play, picking that person up. But I mean, defense is always your constant. So if our defense and pitching is always going to be good, then hitting will figure out a way to score.
In your coaching career, have you always had that clear cut, like ace pitcher that you use? I mean, like you can have some depth, but a lot of times, you can ride that, that one pitcher for, especially in softball, like, or have you had years where you've just kind of been by committee where you have two or three, okay, they're all really good, or, they're all about the same. Like what's kind of been your scenario over your years of coaching?
When I first started, we had two pitchers, and one through majority of games because she was clearly the more experienced pitcher. Um, but the more since I've gotten like Brevin Kalaporis, and then I had her little sister, she was able to have help. And then now I have four pitchers. I have Celise, Olivia, Kendall, and Gwen. And then I have a junior, a sophomore, and two freshmen, which I think is perfect because our junior has experience, our sophomore has a little bit experience. These two freshmen have no pressure, and I can get them experience without any pressure on them because they also know that they have other pitchers coming in that can help, that have more experience. But I think our pitching staff this year it's phenomenal. I'm really excited about it, and I know that there have been times where you'd have to ride an arm, and those times they're stressful because you're really thinking like she has to be on every game, she can't get hurt. Lots of things like that, are stressful to coaching and to the pitcher because they don't want to be pulled. They know they feel like they let the team down, but I feel like this we have a great staff this year, and it's exciting because I feel like we have a lot more pitchers coming in for next year, so I'm excited.
Talking with Cynthia Adams, head coach of the Olathe West softball team. All right, you're repping that state championship T-shirt from last year. So you've won two of the last three. So I guess the question would be, which was harder, getting that first one in 2023 or getting back on top and winning last year?
What's crazy is these two state championships I have is we that was our first time going to state. We won it, and then we didn't make it back. And then our second time we, went to state and we won it. So I've been to state twice and have won it twice. So I feel like I don't know. It's just kind of a crazy feeling because like when I played, I went to state four times and then won it once. So it's just like kind of a weird feeling that when you go to state, you win it all. I
Yeah.
don't even know how to explain that. But it's just pretty awesome. I can't tell you which one's better. I think they're both awesome just because you go to state, you win it all. You go to state, you win it all. Like
Right.
I don't know. It's an expectation that I feel like it's really high and people like love to talk about it, and I'm just like we're just one pitch at a time. One pitch at a time. You cannot think about that.
You got a good track record. Like people think of Olathe West and like at least even, I don't know, it hasn't been along that long. Like I think Olathe West started in like 2017. I
Yeah.
might be wrong
Mhm.
there, but somewhere around there. Like building that program up now in your sixth year, like, to not only get a program at a high level, but to go out and win a state championship. Like what has it been like just, in a relatively new program?
Well, I think that culture piece is huge. Just having a standard, and the girls know that what I expect, and I think that piece is huge because they come in knowing what kind of team and what kind of girls they're going to be playing with, and that is huge. And I think I have girls that want to come out and want to play and want to compete and they want to win. But I mean, we're also having fun, but I just feel like it's attracting those girls that really really want it. But also I'm very fortunate to have the girls at my school. So I mean it's a wherever you end up situation, but I am very lucky that I've ended up with these type of girls.
Well, you played at Wichita State University. So a lot of people think, okay, it's just natural that you're coaching right now. But, before these 6 years at Olathe West, tell me what you were doing before you got into coaching.
Well, I was a forensic scientist for 12
Okay.
years. So I graduated Wichita State and I worked in the lab for 12 years. And then I had kids. And when I swore I would never play softball again, never coach again. Um, but when I had, my little girls, I have two girls, I had them and I put them, in t-ball and soccer and all of the sports. And when I see other coaches coaching them and I'm like, they're telling them things wrong, I'm like, I can't watch this. I have to go out there and help. So that's how that all ended up. And then now it's turned into this. I coach, I do lessons. Softball is my life these days. So
All right. So like what type of like what were you doing in the lab? Like what type of scientist? Like you said forensic, but like what were some of the details?
well, so it's not exciting at all.
Okay.
So it was just like drug testing. I worked machines that like broke down and told you what you tested positive for and for how much.
Okay.
So just just ruining people's lives every day. But it paid the bills. So
Yeah, very much so. So, like, man, like, what was that adjustment like? Okay, like once you went all in on softball, essentially, like, what was that feeling like for you?
well, my job was so stressful that I feel like this was easy and it was fun, and I'm like, this is so much better for my life. No stress, and I get to spend time with my kids. And I love teaching kids the game. I love teaching kids how to pitch. Um, and I just love being around the sport. It's just awesome, and it did so much for me. And I love being able to give back to as many kids as I can.
Coach, appreciate the time and the insight to your program, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
That is Cynthia Adams, head coach of the Olathe West softball team. We'll have more of the show after the break.